Today we're going to be discussing the movie Twister, the original, made in 1996. There was also another second movie called Twisters, and it was made recently in 2024. But today we're discussing the 1996 version, the original. I'm also going to do a different format. I usually do weeklies, but I thought I would try doing a monthly format. So let's get started. The movie takes place in Oklahoma, and Joe Harding, it starts with her as a little girl in 1969, and her family's house is destroyed. Her father passes away in an F5 tornado. She grows up, she becomes a meteorologist, and she's obsessed with tornadoes, and you kind of see that throughout the movie. She leads a team of storm chasers. Now, she was married to Bill Harding, and he is found her, so he wants to get a divorce. So he came to get her to sign the papers, but she was trying to get him to her location because he had thought up the idea of this Dorothy, which is a machine that measures the insides of tornadoes. It has all these little hundreds of sensors that are to fly inside, and he thought up the idea, and she brought it to fruition, her and her team. And so she was hoping to show it to him, which she does. And so the day that they happen to come is a very active storm day. There are tornado after tornado. There are some tornadoes I'd never even heard of up until that time. Sister tornadoes I didn't realize they split and become two. Sidewinders. Just different things like that. So that was kind of interesting, learning some different names. Thought this would be a good location for this. Now, it starts off in the first scene, she's using her truck with the Dorothy in the back, which it doesn't do very well. It's not very successful. And so it gets destroyed. And so then they move on to Bill and Melissa's truck. Let's see, that's going to be a holiday, so I want to keep that visible. I got a picture of the rival team. Now, the rival team is, I wrote it down because I didn't know if I'd remember. Oh, it's led by Jonas Miller. Now, he went to school with Joe and Bill, and they became kind of rivals. They think that Jonas has sold out. He's got corporation money, so he's got some fancy vehicles when they're dealing with, mismatched, rough-looking campers, RVs, vans. It's just a hodgepodge of stuff. And so they think he's a sellout. I don't want to forget the movie poster. Let's start with that up here. I did make a couple of tornadoes because you can't have a Twister theme without a couple of tornadoes. That was a massive tornado that they were headed towards. And I don't know, I grew up in Tornado Alley, so I have seen a few tornadoes, but nothing that major. They were always small like that. I've seen, I think 3. And there's one more. I don't know how that happened, but it did. So we'll put half of it right here. Yeah, it didn't work. All right, let's see. Now, there's a scene where you see a cow flying by, and they yell, "Cow!" And then they see another cow, and they said, "Another cow!" But they said, I think it's the same cow. So, that one there. Now, I do have some quotes. They said they need to get the Dorothy, which is the sensors machine that's in the back of the trucks. They need to get it in the suck zone. So that's what Dusty says. I have quite a few quotes from Dusty. It says he's gonna rue the day he came up against the extreme, baby. And he's discussing in regards to Bill. And Joe yells, "We've got debris." And Melissa, which is Bill's fiance. She says, when you used to tell me that you chased tornadoes, deep down I thought it was just a metaphor. It's a little more than she can handle. And let's see. Oh, she's on the phone when she says, we got cows, Julia. I gotta go. Now, it's interesting. When I first saw the movie, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun movie, exciting, adventurous, dealing with tornadoes and everything. This is a spoiler if you haven't seen it. My friends kind of ruined it for me. They're like, it is so unbelievable they couldn't handle even watching it. He says they come into this room, there's an F5 tornado going by, and it says these pipes go down at least 30 feet. If we anchor to them, we might have a chance, which they do. They use a leather belt. They strap themselves to it, and the tornado goes over them. It tears off the building, but yet they're connected. It's kind of a cool effect where they go upside down. They're being sucked up, but the belt and the pipe holds them down, which my friends were like, that was just so unbelievable. They just couldn't handle it, which, everybody has an opinion, but I enjoyed the movie. Now, I was reading a little bit about it. Michael Crichton, I believe, he's the writer of Jurassic Park, Congo Sphere, also Twister, and he did the TV show ER and Westworld. Well, he said this story came about. He was inspired. He watched a PBS documentary about storm chasers, and then so he tied it into another film that he enjoyed, which was His Girl Friday, and that's about a newspaper editor and his ex who is engaged to another man, but they do one last job together. So that's kind of the premise that kind of inspired this story, which I think was kind of cool. Well, this is one of the things that Joe says is that you've never seen it miss this house and miss that house and come after you. So that's one of her things that, when she's having an emotional breakdown. I've got a couple more tornadoes, and let's put one. I have one more. Put one right. This is always the hard part. Let's put it right here. And we'll just fill in some boxes. I always like color. And let's put in some balance over here. Not sure which stickers I like better. I never used this shape before, so I thought I'd try it. Alright, let's see. How does that look? I have a couple spots here, but the only thing I have left is boxes. I filled in all the things. I think I'll just be able to put a list here. That's what I usually do, my to-do things for the month. So there we go. This is my first monthly plan, and it's on the theme of Twister. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please put a thumbs up and subscribe. Well, thank you. Bye.